nothing wrong with being a blue-collar worker or working with your hands. Y'all literally keep the country going, okay? Yeah, do women, have the same level of respect for it? Probably not, because a lot of them are idiots. Who cares what the fuck they think, Your job isn't to sit here and impress women. Your job is to earn an income, earn a living, and then when you go ahead and you date, you can deal with it however you want. But regardless, you need to make the money first. And there's nothing wrong, guys, with getting into a trade that makes you money, because these trades can absolutely generate 6 figures, which will allow you, right, to go ahead and start a side business. Maybe you can do consulting. Maybe you can start up your own electrician business on the side, because you know how to do it yourself. So now you can move from an entrepreneur standpoint and get some electricians underneath you and start a business. So, but one of the things, though, guys, about being an entrepreneur starting a business is you got to know how to do all the jobs, right? And then hire people to do those jobs for you, and then you can go ahead and move up into more management role. But you're not going to learn unless you go ahead and do these jobs yourself. So these jobs, guys, are fantastic. And here's the other thing, too. You don't necessarily have to incur a lot of debt to get them.
Yes.
Right? You can go to a trade school that's going to cost you a fraction of what a university is going to cost you. Get the trade, graduate with little to no debt. Maybe even you can get some type of scholarship that pays for it. And then, bam, you're on your way to making $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000 within a few years. And then that money that you make, you can invest into other asset classes that's going to make you money.
Guys, this is Money Monday. So we made a list of things you can do as trades to make the most money for yourself and your family. Number 1, plumber, electrician, real estate agent, dental hygienist, technician, boiler maker, carpenter, welder, aircraft mechanic, millwright, radiation therapist, elevator mechanic, iron worker, air traffic controller, mechanic. There's so many things you can do and so many paths you can follow that if you don't want to go to school, you don't have to. So
yeah, and also I want to say this. I've said this before, but I want to really hammer this home on the Money Monday. Guys, don't fall victim to the entrepreneur porn that y'all see on the internet, right? These guys are over here, laptop lifestyle. I'm in Tulum on my laptop working. It's a bunch of fucking cat most of the time, guys. What they don't show you is that to get to that point, you're up all night. You're building stuff. You're making phone calls. You're trying to get your business off the ground. You're literally grinding. Like, I know y'all see the great podcast studio setup that we have right now. Can we go through the cameras a bit? Yo, if I could take you guys with me, I wish I could take y'all with me to when we first started this podcast, how I would be up all fucking night setting up cameras, doing wiring. I didn't know any of this stuff. It was all self-taught. Figuring out what cameras to use, what ISOs to use, what lights to get, how to set up the video independently, then set up the audio independently so that it makes sense. And if you guys watch our older shows before we had an audio engineer, sound would always be messing up, right? Videos turning off, cameras turning off, the lighting being all messed up and stuff like that. This all took a lot of time, trials and tribulations to figure out. And I again, like literally like flashbacks of like trauma, of like all the nights that I spent not sleeping to go ahead and like make sure the studio was aesthetically pleasing while simultaneously being able to give you a high quality content.
Even now,
right? And that's just my perspective from doing the podcast. If you're an entrepreneur in another endeavor, you're going to be grinding. You're going to be working all the time. You work way more hours as an entrepreneur than you do as an employee. And here's the other thing too. A lot of these entrepreneurship porn type guys on the internet, they try to demonize and make fun of guys that are employees. There's nothing wrong with being an employee, okay? Because here's the thing. At least with an employee, you're getting a stable check. You know how much you're getting, and you can go ahead and take that money and save it, and then use it to invest, and then you can become an entrepreneur in your own right, right? Because once y'all start investing in real estate, that's a business, guys. You've effectively become an entrepreneur, and you're doing it on your terms. You're taking that earned income from that job, right, that stable job, and you're investing it appropriately. The problem is this. This is where the problem arises. Most people that have a stable job, whether it's government or a good trade job, whatever, they'll spend money like fucking morons. So you end up being addicted to that paycheck. Instead of thinking, okay, let me get this money from this stable job, save it, so that I can go ahead and create something else and segue if I choose to do so. Y'all don't do that. You take the money and you live as if you're a millionaire, right? You start buying that new Mercedes, you start going ahead and buying some clothing, you start taking vacations, you